Hi, today I'm filming my top 14 books of 2014. So I don't actually have 14 physical books here with me. I don't know, some of the books that were my favorite books I read in 2014. Yeah, so I used my Goodreads goal thing and picked my 14 favorite books. Some of them I have here, some of them I don't. Let's start with the ones I do not. So first off, these are totally out of order. I have no real understanding of what order these come in from worst to best, but these are my favorites. So we'll start off with Vicious by Victoria Schwab, writing as V.E. Schwab, I think. Yes, yes. I have ordered this book in at work and I'm waiting for it to arrive so badly so that I can push it into friends' hands and tell them to read it because it is just so good. Oops, sorry. This book follows two college boys who are trying to become superheroes, and then in the future, them being superheroes and things go and whack crazy, and so hard to explain. Read it. The writing, impeccable. Characters, great. I love anti-heroes. They are my favorite type of character in the world. I just love them. A good anti-hero cannot be matched by anyone. The best good character does not stand up to an anti-hero. Just no. Great morally ambiguous issues. Yes. Good action. I literally can't think of a single downfall of this book. I don't think I could when I read it either. I definitely rated this a 5 out of 5 stars. And I totally recommend everyone else to read it as well. Another one of my favourite books this year was Air of Fire by Sarah J Maas. I technically read all of the Sarah J Maas books this year, but Air of Fire just was great. So good. Selena Sadoffian is queen, is the bae, and you can't compare her to anything else. She's just far too good as a main character to be, she's an assassin. She kills people for a living. She's kick-ass. She wears cute clothes. Well, I saw books fall. I can't even explain it, but if you haven't read Throne of Glass or any of the other books in the series, you really need to. Throne of Glass is probably my least favourite, but you need to just power through it and keep going because it keeps getting better, and I'm so excited to see what she comes out with next. And then there is Gone Girl by Gillian Flynn. I also read this year, though it technically came out last year, I think. It is a thriller. You've probably seen the movie. If you haven't, what are you doing with your life? Ben Affleck, Rosamund Pike. Go see it. It's amazing. And I loved the book. I think the book may have been slightly better than the movie, though they're pretty much on par. But, they're insane. They are insanely good. If you like thrillers, adult fiction, even if you don't really, but think you might, Gone Girl is one of those ones to try. It is so good. It blows the rest of the field wide open. And just so good. I do own Gone Girl, but it is currently with a friend who I told has to read it. I don't know whether he has or not, but I haven't seen him since. So he hasn't. And he better be enjoying it because it's friggin' amazing. Now we can start on my pile. Two of 2014's top 14 books are by Marie Rukowski, and that is The Winner's Curse and its sequel, The Winner's Crime, which I don't have a physical copy of as of yet because it is not yet released. But I read it in 2014 and absolutely loved it, so it's going in this countdown. These books are amazing. They're kind of fantasy in that they're set in a alternate world, but there's no magic system, no magic, just political intrigue, great characters, and a really interesting take on colonialism and war, and just, they are young adult, but they are stunning. Like, literally stunning. I kind of want to read them again right now. Just perfect writing. Absolutely beautiful. Gorgeous characters. Oh, I can't get over it. I only read this in December, but it is so good. And the second one ended in a cliffhanger, and I need the third one right now, please and thank you. And then we have Eleanor Park by Rainbow Rowell. Rainbow Rowell is the queen. Let's be honest, everyone on this list is the queen. But Rainbow Rowell writes some of the best YA contemporary I've ever read. This is a I have another one of hers on this pile somewhere. It's a bit further down. We'll be waiting a while. But this is a 80s historical novel. Historical is so the wrong word, but I can't think of what else to call it. Following two kids. They're in high school, Eleanor and obviously Park. Park is half Korean, half Irish, I think, from memory. And Eleanor is having some problems at home. And essentially it's romance and sad, and I cried, and it's just really beautiful, okay? It's just so beautifully written. It reminds me a lot of John Green's writing style a little bit. Like, it has the same vibe and feeling. Like, I cried the same kind of tears as I cried in Looking for Alaska, except I didn't technically cry in Looking for Alaska. I just almost cried, whereas I actually cried in this. And I also gave this to my friend. I didn't give this copy. I recommended it to him, and he went and bought his own copy, and he also loved it, and it made him cry too. So if you haven't read Eleanor Park, which you probably should have, but if you haven't, go read it. It is so good. And then there is The Bone Season by Samantha Shannon. This is adult fantasy. It's borderline between young adult and adult. It's got 19-year-old characters. Let's say new adult fantasy. There is none of the sexy times that is characteristic of new adult. Essentially, it is a really complex magic system. So complex, I'm not even going to try and explain it. But it has clairvoyance, kind of paranormally, and kind of sci-fi, and just really complex, great characters set in an alternate London. And you kind of just have to read it and understand it and absorb it, because it is just so good. Everyone says it. It's really hard to explain, but when you read it, it is stunning. Read it. Also, I'm very excited for the sequel to come out really soon. And then we have The First Dragon by James A. Owen. This is the 7th and final book in the Chronicles of the Imaginarium Geographica, and I need more people to read this series. That was my mum texting me. I just do, okay? I just do. They're just so beautiful, have such great writing and plot lines, and essentially is fantasy but with historical elements. Like, the characters are all real life not historical authors, real life authors from history, and follows a lot of mythology, and it is so good. If you can get your hands on this series, read it. The first one's called Here There Be Dragons, and it is just amazing. Read it. It is just so good. The line might change because I'm going to go do some shopping with my mum, and then I'm going to come back and film this video. The rest of it. Bye! I'll be back soon. I'm back. So then, we're going to talk about the next book, which is this one, The Diviners by Libba Bray. This was kind of gorgeous. Horribly dark. You actually see from the point of view of the serial killer, but it is so amazing. Like, thick. Still waiting on the sequel because it's so far away. Like, it took so long. I'm sure the sequel will be even thicker. Like, this is already 600 pages. I can see the sequel being similar. And so good. This is a paranormal historical fiction set in the 20s in New York, and essentially it's amazing. They all have powers, not all of them, but some of them have powers, and they're banding together to like solve crimes, kind of. It's more complicated than that, and it's really good, and it's in the 20s, which is great. I love it. Another favourite for the year is S by J.J. Abrams. And Doug Dorst. And it's just so beautiful. Like, regardless of the quality of the literature, which is high and complicated, but just design. Like, I have sticky notes in here to keep track of myself. Like, there's smudged letters and notes in the margins and telegrams and cards, and it's just really amazing. Like, isn't it a little one? It's just so well thought out. Like, that's all I can say. Like, well thought out. I don't know how to, like, quantify this or explain what it's about, really, except that this is an old library book. It used to have a library sticker, but mine fell off. I don't think I ever had one, actually. But some of them come with a little library sticker. And essentially, it's an old library book that has been stolen by a young guy called the Ship of Theseus, and that's the main font in the center. And it tells a story, and then the author's life is another story that you're trying to unravel the mystery of, and that mystery is told through the additions and the multiple writings from both the boy that stole it and the girl he meets up with, who I think works in the library. And essentially, it's so complicated. I need a guide to it, because I think people are still trying to figure out the secrets behind this book. Like, I think it's still ongoingly cray-cray. But this just... If you haven't read this yet, read it. Look up recommended reading order, because that definitely helps when you go through the book each time in order and see what's happening. And just experience it. Experience it. Be the third or fourth or whatever story to this book, because that's what it wants you to be. That is why it is so good. I only have my second Rainbow Rowell book to make this list, and that is Fangirl. This is my first Rainbow Rowell book. I loved it. It's cute and adorable. Not as serious as Eleanor Park. Eleanor Park has that deep element to it, which this doesn't have, but this is just fun. So much fun, and I am a fangirl, and I relate. And that is literally, like, everyone who's read this story loves it. And, like, there's cartoons in the back and in front. And this is such a nice book. Read this book. Another book on my list of top 14 books of 2014. That was really hard to say that time for some reason. Whatever. Sorry, stopping now. That just got confusing. But it is this book, Dreams of Gods and Monsters by Laini Taylor. I did read all 3 of the books in this series this year, but I picked this final one because it's just amazing. Like, it's hard to describe how stunning this series is. Like, some people have said it and said they read it and didn't understand, and it just didn't make sense. But personally, for me, I found these books, like, insanely good. This one, the first one's like urban fantasy, the second one's like high fantasy, and this one's like sci-fi fantasy. But they're all one series. They just kind of grow and develop into something great. And just, they're so pretty. Like, so pretty. And just great characters. I love it so much. I really love these opening lines. Once upon a time, an angel and a devil pressed their hands to their hearts and started the apocalypse. Just, what a great little starting line. If you haven't read the series, go read it. That's literally all I have to say. This cover is quite stunning also. That is all. Just go read it. Go read it. And we have 2 books left. The first of which is, I just knocked that. The Fifth Wave by Rick Yancey. I love this book, like, so much. I think everyone did, but most people read it last year. I read it this year. this is like the best alien apocalypse novel. I mean, movie, but in a novel. Like, it blows minds. Like, literally, just the complexity and the scariness of it all. Aliens are scary, especially when it's as well formed and well thought out as these aliens. Like, scary ass. And if you haven't picked this book up, definitely give it a go. The second book does have a bit of second book syndrome. I liked it personally, and I'm excited to see where it goes for the rest of the series because this looks like it could be something great. Also, movie, hurry up. I want it now. And finally, my not best favorite, I didn't do these in any particular order, but my final favorite book for 2014 is The Book Thief by Marcus Zusak. I watched the movie this year and also read the book, and just, like, let's be honest, everyone's read this, everyone loves this, but I finally read it, and I finally loved it, and I just want to say that. I just want to spread this out into the world. This is, of course, written by an Australian. It's a World War II historical novel. It's just so beautiful, written from the point of view of death. And I wish I had read this earlier than I did. Like, I wish I had read this such a long time ago. But I read it when I did, and that is okay. Because it is beautiful. And that is all. So those were my top 14 books of 2014. Yeah, I was going to say there's a lot of them, but there's exactly 14 of them, because that's the point. I'm just in a routine by now. These books I all really loved, and I'm excited to see what I love in the future books. Let me know what you think of any of these. Have a chat with me down in the comments, because chats. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Sorry it is so late. And I will see you soon with another video. Bye!